This woman dragged my disabled daughter off the school bus and had no idea who I was. Big mistake. Before we begin, comment below and tell me where in the world you're watching this video from. And if you believe in justice and kindness, make sure to subscribe for more true stories that will move your heart. It happened on a normal afternoon at Pine Ridge Elementary. The yellow school bus stopped at 3:15 p.m. Inside sat my daughter, Emma, 9 years old, sitting by the window, smiling like she always did. She wore metal leg braces on both legs because of cerebral palsy. Moving was hard for her, but she never complained. She always took her time, one careful step at a time. "Take your time, sweetheart," said the bus driver, Mrs. Henderson. Emma smiled and gripped the railing tightly. One step, then another, and then it happened. A woman's voice cut through the air. "Move! My son has karate in 20 minutes." At the bottom of the bus steps stood Margaret Whitmore, the neighborhood Karen, president of the HOA, always complaining about something. She glared at my daughter with disgust. Emma whispered, "I'm sorry. I'm going as fast as I can." Karen rolled her eyes and yelled, "Not fast enough! Every day you hold this bus up. You just want special treatment." Before anyone could react, Karen pushed past the driver, grabbed my little girl's wrist, and yanked her down the steps. Emma's legs couldn't hold her. Her braces hit the metal, and she fell hard onto the concrete. Her small voice cried out, "I'm sorry! I'm sorry!" That call changed my life. "Ms. Torres, there's been an accident. Emma's hurt. The ambulance is on the way." My heart stopped. When I arrived, I saw my baby sitting in the ambulance, crying, clutching her wrist. Her voice cracked. "Mama, I'm sorry I'm so slow." Those words shattered me. I took her face in my hands and said, "No, sweetheart. You have nothing to be sorry for. Nothing." And then my anger rose, because that woman had no idea who she'd just hurt. I'm the state attorney general. She didn't just assault a child, she assaulted the wrong child. I told the bus driver, "Don't let her leave." I called my office. "Pull every file on Margaret Whitmore, traffic tickets. Lawsuits, restraining orders, everything." When the police arrived, I stood beside Emma. The officer said, "We can arrest her for assault on a minor and child endangerment." I said, "Do it." As they handcuffed her, she shouted, "You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president." The officer replied coldly, "You pulled a disabled child off a bus. That's not leadership, that's assault." The handcuffs clicked, and for the first time, she looked scared. Weeks later, in court, the truth played out on the big screen. The bus footage showed everything. Emma carefully stepping down, Karen grabbing her, yanking her, then standing there, annoyed while my child cried on the ground. The entire courtroom went silent. Even the jury looked disgusted. Then Emma took the stand. Her voice was small but steady. "I have cerebral palsy," she said. "It makes it harder for my legs to work, but I try my best every day." When asked how it made her feel when that woman called her slow and lazy, Emma said softly, "It made me feel like being me was wrong." When her testimony ended, she walked past Karen and said quietly, "I forgive you, but that doesn't mean what you did was okay." The courtroom went silent again. Even the judge looked moved. When the verdict came, the jury didn't even look at Karen. On the charge of assault on a minor, guilty. On the charge of child endangerment, guilty. On the charge of violating disability rights, guilty. The judge said, "You had every chance to show remorse, but instead you blamed the victim. This wasn't a mistake. This was a choice." He sentenced her to 18 months in prison, 5 years of probation, and $37,000 in damages for Emma's medical and therapy costs. Justice, at last. Months later, we received a letter from prison. It was from Margaret. She wrote, "No apology will ever be enough, but I'm sorry. I didn't see Emma as a child. I saw her as an inconvenience. I was wrong. You taught me the meaning of empathy." Emma read the letter quietly, then said, "I forgive her, Mama. But forgiveness doesn't mean she didn't deserve to go to jail. It just means I won't carry her hate inside me." That was the moment I realized my daughter was stronger than anyone I'd ever known. Years passed. Emma grew into a young leader. She started a club at school called Different is Beautiful, teaching other kids that disabilities don't make you less. They make you unique. She spoke at schools, at conferences, even before the state legislature. Because of her story, new laws were passed. Buses got safety cameras. Schools added disability awareness training. The culture began to change. Even Margaret changed. After her release, she volunteered at a disability resource center, helping families like ours. One day, the director called me and said, "I just thought you should know. Margaret stopped a parent from hurting an autistic child at a playground. She's using what she learned to protect others now." When I told Emma, she smiled. That's good. It means what happened to me mattered, and it did. 2 years later, Emma stood on a national stage in front of 3,000 people. She said, "When I was 9, a woman hurt me because she thought I was too slow, too inconvenient, too much trouble. But she failed because my mom showed me that I matter, that my time matters, that every person with a disability deserves to take up space in this world." The audience stood and applauded for 5 straight minutes. Emma turned pain into purpose. She proved that being different isn't weakness, it's power. She taught the world that justice isn't about revenge, it's about change. So if this story touched you, hit that like button, share it with someone who believes in kindness, and tell me in the comments, where are you watching this from? Because stories like this remind us no matter how cruel the world can be, compassion always wins.